Welcome to the best of everything with Ruben Paul and my brother Johnny Sanchez. We are back. Man, so much going on. I hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is, staying safe during these crazy times. And man, these crazy times are starting to feel like they're going to be normal for a while, unfortunately. But all is well with me. What can we say, man? 2020 has been quite a year. Let me take this off. And without further ado, the annoying one has just popped in. And he's my brother from another mother, the one and only Mr. Johnny Sanchez. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was just, telling everybody I hope everybody is safe and taking care of themselves. It seems like we're saying we're in crazy times, but these crazy times might be normal for a while, it seems. So, the whole adjustment of this and thinking that everything is going to go back exactly the way that it was before, I don't think that's even possible. I think we're in August now, so I think these 8 months. No, we're in September, right?
Oh God, we just started September.
Yeah, we just started September, man. So I think what we've learned, since March. This is the new normal. Hopefully it gets better than what it is now, but I don't think we could ever expect it to go back to exactly the way it was pre-pandemic. Maybe it'd be better. Who knows? But we know it'll never be the same.
Well, I'm kind of weird. So, I actually think the flu season's not going to be that bad because now we're going to be overly prepared for flu season.
Really?
Well, think about it. In all the other years, people walking around, touching everything, coughing where they want, never covering their face, sneezing all over people, sneezing on the ATM thing that we use at the grocery store. Now, people are going to be with masks. They're going to be, they're cleaning their hands. To me, the odds are cut already in half, in my opinion.
Well, I would agree with you totally if everyone was operating under that premise.
No, right. But even the 50% that's doing it, that's 50% more than what they were doing before.
Shauna said, that's very optimistic. I like that view.
Yeah, well, think about it. Let's just say this. All right, let me give you the numbers then. I'll throw some numbers out there then. So if last year in October, when flu season starts,
yeah,
if say 10%, really, who was really cleaning their hands a lot besides people like myself and who stopped shaking hands? I wouldn't fist bump during October through April during flu season, right? And I had hand sanitizer with me. Let's just say how many people were really doing that last October? 10% maybe?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Not even
that, Johnny. Not even that.
Not even that. I'm with you. I'm being generous on that. So think about it now this year. How many people are doing that coming into October?
I don't know, Johnny.
Okay, let's just say it's split in half. 50 do and 50. But Ruben, look how many people are wearing masks and who are wearing gloves and shields and who are walking around cleaning their hands. I'm telling you, man.
I guess because I still see people without masks. I still see people leaving bathrooms without washing their hands.
Yes, of course. But Ruben, the amount of people that are no longer doing that anymore is way higher than it was in all the other flu seasons.
Hey man, I hope so too, brother.
Okay.
I hope so too.
I don't know, man. I'm not buying into the I'm just not buying into. I'm going. Well, we're overly prepared already for the flu, like we've never been ever since 1918.
Well, we'll see, man.
Okay.
Because
Hey. So
people
I want to
people
explain.
are still getting COVID.
We gotta watch. Yes. Listen. I'm not talking about the combo of both. I'm saying flu season. They're scaring people. Going now. We got to deal with the double threat. Okay.
Mhm.
But people right now are really being, not all of them, but way more than any other year in flu season. People are way more prepared.
Let's
That's all I'm
let's
saying.
hope so, man. Let's hope so because people are still catching COVID.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean,
You know,
totally. I hear you.
but other than that, I mean, obviously, I'm you know, I'm optimistic. You're pretty much a pessimist, so that
Dude,
that shows that you know I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you know
I
that's
mean,
the side that I like to be on.
yeah, seriously. I mean, normally I wouldn't throw out stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I had been sitting back and looking at the situation, going, if people get their flu shots, and most of them are prepared, they're covering and they're sanitizing. I'm like, damn, we got a head start on the flu. Could
Okay.
you imagine telling everybody last year, hey, we're going to try this new thing. We don't want this flu to get out of control. How about everybody wear a mask and a shield and gloves and clean your hands all the time? What would people have said last year?
No way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Sanchez out.
we'll see, but
Right, okay.
I mean, I'm hopeful, Johnny. I hope you're right, but I mean, I'm when we get off air, I didn't have time to upload it. I'm going to show you a video of somebody that I know, and it's cool because they're not actually in the video, but I recorded it, and I got a copy of the video, and you would think that this video was shot 5 years ago, and it's in the middle of COVID, and it doesn't give you much hope whatsoever.
Oh, well,
I mean, they're at a pool party, man. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
Look at all the not only the house parties, but look at the college campuses, man, that had to shut down, that had to get kids out of the dorms. And I mean, look, man, we've talked about this before, but when you're 18 to 22, you are absolutely invincible in your mind.
Hey, Johnny, real quick, Conrad chimed in and said Tito's Tacos. See, Johnny is not like us, Conrad. He's not a veteran of Tito's, but he has. You've been there a couple times, right? What did you try when you went there?
I've been there once I moved to Venice. I started eating there a lot. No, get this, Conrad. You're gonna love this. Ruben's never even had a Tito's taco.
He knows that. You know, I do. Guess how long Conrad has been going to Tito's? Since 84, he told me.
Damn.
I know, man. He's been going to Tito's Tacos since 1984. I'm like, damn, dude.
Do they know about this? Because they should start putting names on the walls somewhere.
They should. He definitely deserves. But you know, I don't eat meat, Johnny. So that's why.
Yeah,
you
I know. First of all, it's not like I've only been there a couple times.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. But you when did you start going?
When you really started going when I moved in with Ahmed.
That's right. Okay,
because
that's right.
It was right down the road. We were living in Venice.
Yeah. So what have you tried there?
Okay. Obviously they're tacos and they're
Did you get the bean and cheese?
And I got the bean and cheese burrito. Yeah.
Yeah. And theirs is with cheddar, and it was good.
It's still good, but I think the reason why we've talked about this, I've tried them. I've tried all the other ones. You know, we did Poquito Mas and all this.
Wait, hold on, Johnny. Let me set it up. So to everybody listening,
the best bean and cheese burrito.
A guilty pleasure of mine and Johnny's are bean and cheese burritos. And we any Mexican place we go to, usually we'll try their bean and cheese, and we'll pretty much judge the Mexican restaurant based on their bean and cheese.
Yeah.
Well, who's on our bean and cheese? And you guys chime in who like bean and cheese burritos and maybe the places that you enjoy, no matter what city you're in. Let us know.
Yeah,
we've tried Cactus.
Yeah, but let's set it up. That Cactus so far on Vine, the Cactus on Vine. I think that's Cactus number one.
The small one, not the other one.
The little small one. You can't even sit in there. You got to. It's like a old photo mat. Okay.
Yeah.
And that has been our favorite for years, and we still have yet to find a place that can match or let alone top the bean and cheese burrito at Cactus on Vine. After we've been testing other bean and cheese burritos, a lot of times like a Poquito Mas or a Tito's, if they have cheddar, sometimes we would ask, can you just go ahead and put Monterey Jack in there? Because that's what Vine does, right? Yeah. That's what Cactus does at Vine.
Yeah.
And I've tried that too. And it's still, and I'm convinced now because we weren't sure. Is it the tortilla? Is it the cheese? Is it? Yeah. I think it's their beans.
It's the beans. I think it's the beans.
Because I'm telling you right now, what I think they might do, they might still be old school and use lard in their beans.
Maybe, we should ask. And also, just to clarify, there's 2 Cactuses on Vine. We're talking about the little one south of Santa Monica.
Right, just south of Santa Monica Boulevard. It's been there for years and years and years and years.
It's been there forever.
The new one is like it's further north on Vine, and it's real fancy. It's like, and it does not taste the same.
Yeah, and that one is just south of Sunset on Vine, but we're talking about the one.
And it's very, very healthy, which is good for people. I get it, but real Mexican food can't be too healthy. Okay, it can't be. It's like Tito's.
So let's go over our list. So we have Cactus, we have Poquito Mas, and what I did, what Johnny actually suggested, which I did, and it was a hit. I do like Poquito Mas's bean and cheese as is, but when I went there and I asked them for jack cheese only, and it was really good. It was good, and I do like Tito's bean and cheese. And let's see who else is on that list of bean and cheese. Where else, John? Oh, I wasn't a big fan of the place you sent me to that's on Sunset.
Yeah, El Gavilan.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't, it's hard to mess up a bean and cheese though, don't you think?
Well, here's the thing though. You got to remember and maybe Poquito Mas does the same thing. The thing about El Gavilan is they use whole pinto beans.
Mm-hmm.
And Cactus is refried.
Cactus is refried, but I think Poquito Mas is refried too.
Okay, Poquito Mas is refried. You're right.
Yeah.
El Gavilan is whole beans. They use the whole beans. It doesn't.
That's right. That's what I didn't like about it.
The same. Yeah.
Oh, another place, Plancha's Tacos. You have to try that. It's on 3rd Street. Toby Kelly said with her bean and cheese, which I forget to do, which I like, is she goes, add onions to the bean and cheese. That's really good too. Have you ever done that, Johnny? Added.
Yeah, I do it all the time. So what I do is I get my bean and cheese burrito. I get the onions and cilantro. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I open it up and I put the onions and cilantro on the inside. And then I always put my green chile, my green verde chile on the inside.
Now you're trying to sound really Mexican. Oh my God.
On the inside. And then I close it back up. So now it has the bean, the cheese, onion, cilantro, and the verde chile. And then as I'm biting it, I'm pouring the red rojo chile on top while eating the jalapenos.
Oh, all right.
That's
whatever.
How I do it.
So let me tell you about planchas. Chris just chimed in and said Poquito's Mas bean and cheese is just average. I think it's a little bit above average. I don't think it's just average, but I would say this. I would say planches. I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting about planches, Johnny. Their bean and cheese. They use black beans in their bean and cheese, and it's
Sure,
still
right. Healthy, pretty healthy.
Oh, is that what it is? It's healthier.
Yeah, black beans are better. Black beans are better for you.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know.
Um,
Yeah, Toby,
yeah,
Cactus is the place on Vine, south of Santa Monica, the small one. It's a small location, but that one is
you
great.
got to stand outside.
What, any other place, Johnny, that you would tell people to try?
Oh, let me tell you who not to try. How about that?
Who not to try? Go ahead, go for it.
Well, right on Sunset, I think Pinches Tacos and Pink Taco are awful with their Mexican food.
Really? What now?
Yeah.
Now, just go into why.
I've tried their I've tried tacos. I've tried their burritos. It's just too watered down, man. It just doesn't. It's you know how we call it
is it the
sometimes.
flavor?
Yeah, the flavors aren't good. It's like white people Mexican food.
White people Mexican food. Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a touristy spot, and it's just those places that are a little more fun to hang out than really to get really really good food. I mean, they're right down the street from me. They're walking distance from me, and I never eat there.
Well, how are the tacos at Pinche's Tacos? Are they're at least really?
I don't like any of their. It's the way they do their flavoring, dude. It's just not doesn't taste right. It just doesn't taste right. So I would even go over to across the street to Tacos Way first, and Tacos Way isn't even near El Gavilan, and El Gavilan isn't near Cactus or Tito's Tacos.
Interesting. Okay.
So, what's another place that there was I haven't been to those in a long time, but I used to go to those smaller little places called Dos Burritos. Remember Dos Burritos restaurants?
In
They
the LA area?
In the valley.
Okay.
In the valley, and there used to be one right there on Vermont and Hollywood Boulevard in Los Feliz.
Okay. So what's
hey,
your?
How am I doing, by the way? Am I breaking up? Because you keep chopping up a little bit.
Yeah, you're chopping up a little bit, but the sound is fine. The video is a little choppy, but you sound small. That's why I've been
with you. I'm just getting some crackles here and there and breaking up with the but that's it.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, I hear the crackles a little bit. If you want, hold on, let me do this. You there, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you. You're just hesitating a little bit, but I mean, for the people listening to it in their car or at home or at the office, the sound is still fine. It's just a little bit of crackling, but all right. Well, enough of the bean and cheese in the last before we move on. If you're going to get some Mexican, if you get some Mexican food in LA, to sit down, not just pick something up. If you're going to go to a Mexican restaurant, because a lot of these places, besides Pink Taco, are more takeout places, more fast food type places, right? So
yeah.
If you're going to go sit down and have a dinner of Mexican food, what's your go-to spot in LA or the Valley or whatever? What's your number one spot?
Oh, you know what place I like? Well, either El Coyote first.
El Coyote on 3rd Street?
On 3rd Street.
On Beverly.
On 3rd Street.
No, on Beverly. I'm sorry, it's on Beverly, right?
Oh, is it Beverly? I always get confused. 3rd or Beverly?
It's on.
Third.
It's on Beverly. I think it's on Beverly. But I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one's good. I even like, and I like if you're on Sunset, I like El
Compadre.
Compadres, right? Yeah.
Somebody
And
was just
then
telling me they didn't like El Compadres the other day. I can't remember who told me that.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. For a sit down, it's good. The vibe is great. It's sort of like the vibe is like a Casa Vega over in the valley in Studio City.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how do you like Casa Vega?
Yeah, I like Casa Vega. I mean, I like Casa Vega more for their margaritas than their food, to be honest.
Well, you want to know uh, a great place that has margaritas and great Mexican food is El Cholo's. Have you ever been to El Cholo's?
No, man, but I've heard of it for a while.
Man, they've been around forever. There's one in Santa Monica that they built maybe 5, 10 years ago, maybe could be shorter or longer, but it's been there for a little bit. But the original one was on Western, down the street from the Wheel Turn Theater, like right before you get to like Koreatown in that area. It's south of Wilshire Boulevard on Western. And that's the first one I went to years ago. But they have this thing called the LA Lemonade, which is their like, Mark, man, that thing. It's their version of a Cadillac margarita, man. That thing is strong. It's great.
Oh, that's right. You got to have certain tequila, by the way.
Hey, man, I like good tequila. Here's the thing, Johnny. Bad tequila makes my face itch. And Conrad chimed in. He said El Cholo's was good back in the day. When's the last time you've been though, Conrad? I'm curious. And obviously, all these questions are pre-pandemic. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there's a lot of great hole-in-the-wall places for Mexican food, like in East LA and different places that I can't tell you the name of them. I just know them when I pull up to them. But
yeah,
LA does have some great Mexican food, and when I'm on the road and I'm doing jokes and everything, like people always yell out, "Texas, we got the best Mexican food." But Texas does have good, but I'm not a big fan of Tex-Mex type of Mexican food. I mean, it's good. Obviously, you can get a good meal anyway. But I travel a lot. And
I got some.
Go ahead.
Did you tell everybody where Planchas is?
Planchas is on 3rd. Planchas is on 3rd Street between Crescent Heights and Orlando, or if you want to think of a bigger street, it's between Crescent Heights and La Cienega on 3rd Street.
Oh man, I gotta go try it then.
It's close to you. It's really close to you. They have yeah, close. It's really yeah.
By the way, I meant to tell you this. Check this out. Because of the distancing at El Gavilan, you can order, but they have the best when things get back to normal. Here's one thing about El Gavilan though. They have the best salsa bar that I've seen. Okay, because they have everything. They even have free beans, dude. Free whole pinto beans. You can scoop up and put on your plate, whatever. And then they got the roasted jalapenos. But get this, because of everything going on, you have to now ask. Before I used to scoop all the salsa in these I used to get the big cups, and I get a ton of those, and I get a bunch of jalapenos. Well, now you got to ask for it. So the first time I went in there, I'm like, hey, can I get can I get a couple of the like five? And the guy goes, five of the green? And I go, yeah.
Wait, your dad worked there? Your dad worked there, Johnny? Are you doing an impression of your dad right now?
Unbelievable.
Anyway. You want five?
So anyway, I then go, he goes, okay. And I go, no, and 5 of the red too. 5? Again? I'm like, oh God. So get this, dude. You know, because I got a mask on. I don't know if he can't tell. So then the next, and I've been doing this ever since. Now I go in, they give me and I go, can I get some? And then they go, yeah, what you want? And then I go, quiero cinco de rojo y cinco de verde. I go like that, dude. They grab them, no problem. No questions asked. Because they know I'm Mexican at that point.
Chris just said all this. Go ahead.
No, because I even I'll get the jalapeno. Cilantro. See? Cilantro. Jalapenos. I go like that, dude. Changes everything.
So you try to sound extra Mexican so you can get better service, is what you're saying.
They'll give me more of the salsa and chili and everything because they hear my accent and they go, oh, he's all right. What's funny is Ryan Dalton used to overload on him. You know how white people overload at the salsa bar? Right? White people think it's their salsa bar to take home with them. And I just go, you ain't gonna eat that, Hank. So Ryan was notorious for this, dude. He would stacks and stacks. And I'd say, dude, you don't eat all that salsa. And he goes, I know, I end up wasting it, whatever. So then I said to him, I go, hey, how's that going for you? Because he's got to ask for him. And he goes, yeah, they just hand me like 2 of each. I said, you better start learning some Spanish, bro. You know?
Hey, Johnny, Chris just said all this food talk is making him hungry. And Conrad, Chris Adams, and Conrad just jumped in and said, one of my Hispanic homies accidentally dropped a bean off his plate and said, be careful, I dropped my ID. That was from Conrad. I do not approve that message.
I dropped my ID. Well, hey, I got to give him originality. I've never heard that.
Hey, Johnny, real quick. Why don't you, because it's almost seemed to almost be getting close to being synced back up. Why don't you pop out and pop back in and see if that syncs it back up.
And find out in the meantime, find out from anybody what they recommend. Anybody else recommend a different place? All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, definitely. Well, Conrad said classy Mexican food like Casa Sanchez. I never heard of Casa Sanchez.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yep.
Where's Casa? Yeah, check out Johnny. Where's Casa Sanchez?
Okay.
Conrad, where is it? I'm curious to see where it is. And anybody else chiming in? Chris, what is some of your favorite places, Mexican place? Like, what's your go-to Mexican restaurant for fast food or for sit down? I'd be curious to hear that. But anyway, I don't know how we got off on a tangent of bean and cheese burritos. Me and Johnny talk about it all the time. We need to get one of these places to sponsor the show. And because or if you are a restaurant out there, a Mexican restaurant that has a good bean and cheese, let us know. Chris said he prefers Mexican food trucks. Okay, I can see that. But if it's a Mexican food truck, is there a specific Mexican food truck you'd like to go to? Johnny, you're back?
I guess I'm back. How is it?
Oh, you're perfect. You're great.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Conrad said his place, Casa Sanchez, is on Centinela in Washington. I know where that is.
Yeah.
10 minutes from the Culver City DMV. Casa Sanchez.
I was going to say Culver City. Yeah.
So Conrad, you highly recommend that place. Conrad, he knows his Mexican food. But anyway, let's get off of food. I just said, Johnny, while you were gone, that uh, one of these Mexican places should sponsor the podcast. And I said, if there's any place out there that has a good bean and cheese burrito, they should reach out to the show. But let's. I'd be remiss, man, because something that's been heavy on my mind and your mind as we talked, and it was good to start with something a little light. Was the loss of
course. I agree.
Chadwick Boseman, man. Was just man, it just continues a very trying year that we've had in our country, in the world, but just specifically, just such a talented guy to be dealing with what he was dealing with in private, which I respect. You know, I'm a very private person also, but just the fortitude to continue working. You know, how many movies he did while he was battling cancer was just outstanding. Was just astounding, I should say. Outstanding and astounding that he worked through the time. So, you know, prayers to his wife and his family. And he was a big loss, I think, to the Hollywood community, and I think to the Black community and what he represented with Black Panther. And also, you know, he played other iconic Black figures like Jackie Robinson and Thurgood Marshall. He did excellent jobs playing those characters. But
and James Brown.
And James Brown, just a really talented guy. And I posted about him on my Instagram page, and I know you felt the same way. Also, it felt like he was just getting started. Like he was, even though he had accomplished so much in such a short time, it just seems like, dude, we were just watching somebody at the beginning of a huge Denzel Washington-esque type career, if not even bigger. You know?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, it's devastating, especially to be that young, and also just so boy, to be diagnosed with colon cancer at 39. You know, we're always told to start getting checked in your late 40s or at least by, you know, your early 50s or whatever. But wow, man. I mean, I know it happens from time to time, but I mean, that's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, then I guess you should be getting checked in your 30s. I mean, you know, I don't know if it ran in his family or anything. I hadn't read anything about that, but like you said, to be going through that and working at the same time, that I don't know if people understand. You know, it's you have to be mentally for acting. There's this mental preparedness that you have to have, and man, it's when you have things on your mind that can really create problems for you. You know?
Yeah, when you say mental preparedness, I mean, you know, another way of saying that is just the focus that you need as an actor to play a character. I mean, just think about shooting Black Panther with cancer. You're playing an indestructible superhero.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And to be dealing with that. And Viola Davis posted a post of a young Black boy with his Black Panther action figure crying. And we've talked before on this show about how images are important. And, you know, a lot of times white people don't really have to think about positive images because they control a lot of the images. And, you know, most of their images are always positive of them. And for Blacks and Latinos sometimes, and, you know, other groups, Asians or whatever, you know, as kids growing up, you know, it helped to look at somebody or some things that look like you. You know what I mean? And it gives you that hope thinking, if that person can do it, I can do it. Or just even seeing the self-esteem aspect. Like I remember you telling me, B, when she was a little girl, choosing a black doll. Lots of kids
Yeah.
growing up, a lot of little girls, didn't have the option of choosing a black doll, you know,
Right.
and people might
Right.
look at those things as insignificant, but I can say, and me and you can both say, they're very significant. When you see
Yeah.
somebody who looks like you doing things outside your environment, it gives you hope to be able to do, those types of things. And I remember hearing Chris Webber, the basketball player, tell a story about how Charles Barkley came to his high school. And he said when Charles Barkley came to his high school, it changed everything for him because he saw a guy like in the same room that was doing exactly what he wanted to do, somebody he could see and touch. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah.
And he said
Yeah.
that fueled him, to make it, to the NBA. So rest in peace, Chadwick, man. Like I've heard, like I never got a chance to meet him, but they said he's even a better human being than he was an actor. And
Yeah.
man, his legacy will live on forever, man. At 43 years old, man, is tough.
And,
Um,
and let me ask you something. Do you know, did they start shooting Black Panther 2 or anything or no?
I don't know. I think it was in the works. But hold on one
Oh,
second, John. I'll be remiss. Jose Tapia just posted in the chat that he got surgery for cancer, and he's also a private person. And he then after that he says, "Yes, I know he went through a lot of struggles, but he pushed through it." Uh, you know, here's the thing about sharing private things. I mean, everybody has a choice of whether they want to share personal things or not. But I know for me, the thing that I look at more is if I share something private, is it going to be a benefit to somebody else? Is my pain
right.
or whatever I'm going through, if I share it, is it going to serve somebody? Is it going to help somebody's life be that much better? Like, I'll talk openly about death a lot, which is very personal and private, but I know a lot of people are dealing with it. So I go against my normal protocol and will share about, the death of my parents or the death of my little cousin or whatever it might be, just because somebody in the audience or somebody, listening to the show could be dealing with death and understand that, there is hope at the other side of it. And it's something, unfortunately, we all have to deal with. So, Jose, we wish you the best. We wish you a
Yeah.
speedy recovery, and we'll be thinking about you and praying for you. I'm not sure what type of cancer that you have, but just know you have support out there. And people are pulling for you, rooting for you, and we wish you all the best.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thoughts and prayers to him for sure. And
Yeah,
thanks for
it's
sharing
tough,
that. He didn't have to share that. You know what I mean? So,
man.
um, but I
You
always
know,
feel
you
too
know,
that sometimes when you do share things like that and other people see it, you got people for whether you're religious or not, but whether it's you like prayers or you prefer just positive energy, positive thoughts coming your way, it's all helpful in my
yeah,
opinion. So,
and
um,
Johnny, especially in our communities, and I'm sure you agree with this. And it's hard for me sometimes to, and we've talked about this, like reach out for help or,
yeah,
really, whatever it might be, whether it be something business wise or whether it be something personal. But I think, especially in a lot of the Black and Brown communities, we do a lot of suffering in silence, you know, and I think we need to utilize the people around us more who really love and care about us, or you know what I mean, or go out and try to get help. Like there's no shame in needing support. And I think even when we're looking at the state of the world today, even with all the racial unrest that's happening right now, I think a lot of times you know, the world is hearing minorities speak out, but a lot of us are Black and brown communities saying we've been dealing with this in silence for decades. We've been dealing with these, with police brutality and all these, systematic racism, for years, and it felt like it was it fell upon deaf ears. So I just think, you can have empathy and understanding to try to see what somebody might be going through. I think it will get us all closer to where we need to be, instead of feeling defensive or feeling attacked. And I think a lot of white people are starting to feel attacked. And it's like, don't feel attacked. Just listen to what we're saying. We don't want revenge. We want equality.
That's it.
That's what it's about. And if you happen to be white, it's not saying that your life is going to be easy just because you're white. But you got to understand that other people's lives are tougher because they're not white. So, it's just an interesting time, and I'm just glad that somebody like Chadwick Boseman was a great role model, and his legacy will live on. And then after that, we lost Cliff Robinson, the basketball player, and we lost John Thompson, another iconic.
Yes.
The great John Thompson, man, just another iconic figure from Georgetown University. He was a mentor to many coaches, and just to hear Coach Mike Krzyzewski from Duke speak so eloquently about John Thompson and how blessed and how honored he was to be friends. Because, that coaching community is a very small community, like the comedy community or professional athletes or any type of community. So he was a tremendous loss. And to hear Allen Iverson thank him for saving his life. Because, I don't know if you knew this, but Allen Iverson was highly recruited in football and in basketball. And then he got into.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a crazy talented quarterback in high school. And an incident happened in high school that he was blamed for and got arrested. And there was a trial. There was this whole big thing. There's documentaries on it. And he literally lost all his scholarships. And his mom called John Thompson and begged him. And he took Allen Iverson in and became like a father figure to Allen Iverson, and the rest is history. And just what he did at Georgetown University, they weren't even known for basketball until he got there. I mean, they're a terrible program, and he turned them into a powerhouse, man.
Absolutely. Wow. I was wondering why Iverson said that. I didn't know that. I heard the quote. I don't know if he tweeted it out or whatever, but I mean, I figured he had, obviously got involved with him at some point. I wasn't sure if it was through coaching or what, but that's amazing, man, because that's a life changer right there.
Dude, could you imagine
and look,
if he said no?
Yeah. And look, his mom, again, like we just talked about, reached out for help. That must have been really hard for her to make that call. You know what I mean?
Wow, good point.
There you go. Sometimes you just got to reach out. We're really bad about that. Ruben and I, we've always been really, really bad. We almost literally have to talk to each other into like, no, call the person, man. Call them. Reach out to them, So that's a good lesson, man. And look, at the very worst, somebody says no. That's it.
Yeah. I just think sometimes.
No different.
Go ahead, Johnny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, if they said no, then that no is no different than you not asking, right?
Absolutely.
Because it didn't happen. But it seems like the majority of the time people go, well, I will help you out.
And what's the saying, Johnny? The only guaranteed no is not asking, or something like that. There's like a phrase for what you're saying. Yeah. I think it's I definitely think it's important to reach out. And let me just say this, because Conrad just made a comment. He said, "Call Rad; he'll take care of you." And that's one thing I do appreciate about the friendships in my life. Like I don't have. I mean, I'm cool with everybody, but I don't have a lot of friends, and maybe that's the reason why I take my friendship so seriously, because I don't ask people for things, or I'm hesitant to reach out. At least the people in my inner circle, I should feel comfortable enough to reach out and ask for help if I need it, and vice versa. And I hope my friends know they can call me at any time, because I pride myself in being supportive and being there for my friends. But Conrad is one of those guys where he doesn't make it uncomfortable, and just vice versa. He knows he can reach out to me, and I'll always do my best. Whether I can come through or not, but I always put forth the effort, and I'm always upfront with what I can and can't do. And I think that's what most people want. Like, hey man, if you can't do something, just say you can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just like leaving somebody hanging or not responding or whatever the situation is. But I always put forth effort to try to help a friend in need. Leslie just chimed in and said, "R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman," and then Jose chimed in again and said, "Yeah, I agree with you 100% because that call can make a difference." Yeah, reaching out to make a difference, man. Because sometimes, you don't know somebody's in need. We're all living our own lives, and sometimes we're not, paying attention. But that's why I really try to connect with my friends. And when I say how you're doing, I don't mean it as a general how you're doing. Like, how are you really doing? Are you okay? And I think in Hollywood, a lot of times, when you ask somebody how they're doing, they start, giving you their credits or what they're working on. And it's like, no, man, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, not what you're doing. How are you doing, man? How are you holding up? But yeah, man, it's a lesson. And just hearing how he passed with his loved ones around him, I know was rough, but had to be of some comfort, because we all don't get a chance to say goodbye to the people that we love. And firsthand experience with that one. What were you going to say, Johnny? I'm sorry.
Well, kind of staying on this with everything with everything going on. We've had so many changes. Obviously, I'm kind of curious because I'm starting to see some comedy shows open up, whether they're in parking lots, drive-ins, backyards. How are you? Are you, when you see our fellow comics posting, "Hey man, I'm doing a show at the patio of this or in the back parking lot of that place." How has that been? Because we haven't had a chance to talk on the phone about it. I've been so preoccupied with B and everything, and going back to school. Does that how does that make you feel? Are you like, all right, man, this is exciting because at least we can do them outside and not Zoom or whatever? Or is it still that thing where you're just like, ugh?
Well, a couple things. It depends on the show. I'm not excited about the drive-in shows with people sitting in their cars. That doesn't really interest me. But I'm not opposed to trying it, just to see it, just because I miss stand-up so much. Because I know they've been doing some drive-in shows locally at the Magic Castle.
Magic Castle, and you can actually, you can purchase a hand clapper.
Yes, yeah. Jesus was telling me that I actually think that they handed them out to them. I don't think they had to purchase it.
Yeah, so the people can do it out their window, and you can at least. I mean, I know that sounds a little. That sounds almost.
But I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, Jesus was on tour with Bert Kreischer. So he has a lot of
Yeah.
experience doing those drive-in shows. And he said it was a huge difference with the clappers at that show for him. He felt like, first he thought like, oh, this is going to be awful. This is going to be annoying. But he said when he was actually on stage, he was like, wow, it actually helped a lot. Go figure. You know what I mean? But to piggyback on that, we haven't spoke about this is I am planning to do an outdoor show, a private outdoor show, social distancing outdoor show with a live audience.
Oh
Everybody.
yeah, that's right. No, you did mention that. You
I
did mention. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we're working on that, and that to me is what I would prefer. You know, if I had to choose, obviously being inside of a comedy club back to normal is what I would like. But as far as doing the outdoor shows, if I could do a social distancing show with everybody spread out, I think I would take that before a drive-in show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And and would you on the social distancing is that even though they're far apart from each other, would they still be wearing the mask during the show as well?
That's what we're discussing. I think the short answer is yes. It's kind of taking the Chappelle model, what Chappelle is doing in Ohio on that farm, on the farm, is everyone is social distancing, but I think everybody has their mask on during the show. And remember, me and you talked about that way in the beginning of this thing, and we're like, man, I don't know about that, Johnny. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well,
put a mask on.
Yeah. Because I think it's interesting that comics now, we all hated, doing shows outside. That was one of our biggest complaints.
Yes.
And now we're all being forced, to that's really the only thing to do. And all of a sudden comics are like, yeah, it's fine, man. Ain't no big deal. Where before we were like, it's not right. The laughs get lost up into the air and the ozone, man. So
yeah.
But I know because I've been thinking, I go, man, I'm from an area, the San Joaquin Valley, nothing but open space, dude. And, I'm like, maybe the Tulare Dairy comedy tour.
I mean, you could. I just, the reason why we just haven't jumped and doing and just done it is we want to do it the right way. You know what I mean? And make sure we're following all the rules because it is very strict and we are in a pandemic, even though a lot of us are acting like we aren't in one. So we just want to make sure we're, dotting every I and crossing every T. But you mentioned something, we're getting close to signing off here. But you said what?
Oh,
what do you,
B. I think she just walked in.
She's had enough of you, man. Like we've had enough of you, man. I know her pain, man.
Dude,
I know B's.
I tried to help her with math today, and I actually got stumped on a math graphic.
And I'm Johnny. I'm glad you brought this up because this is what I wanted to talk about. You teaching B, man, bothers me. It really. I almost feel like I should step in and be the substitute teacher, man. So B can have a chance. Dude, I wake up and go, oh, poor B. Johnny has to teach. So tell me, what has that experience been like for you? You're an artist, you know what I mean? And shit, you haven't gone, you haven't been in school or done anything academic in a long time. So how's this whole and I mean, I'm sure you guys can listen and watch. Johnny is not the most tech savvy guy either. So please, Johnny, tell us how this experience has been. Tell us how this experience has been for you, man.
Let me start. I'm gonna start it with the latter first, and let's talk about the technology because They made it sound like it was so simple, man. I watched the webinars. They're like, you're going to get on this thing, this one. It's the main portal called Clever through Google, and all the other apps are there. And you just go to classroom, you go to math, you go here, dude. That's not what's happening, okay? And they got to send separate links. Sorry, that didn't work. The teachers are crashing out. Like literally, her teacher had to check out twice on the first day and come back in while we're all the kids are sitting around. So there's that where they keep having to send new links and new things for this and that. And then, dude, really, I hadn't realized how long it's been since I've been in school until we're going over, sentences and math and I know all of it. It's just weird, dude, that you would think that I would look at something that's a third grade level math and that it would just come so natural. Like I would just go, oh, I know what that is. But I'm having to read my multiple choices. I don't beat it. I go, no, wait a minute. It could be. Wait, what do you? I said to B, I go, what do you think it is? And
it's
like, well, I don't know.
Johnny, it's safe to say that you didn't take the SAT, right? Did you ever take the SAT?
I had to take the SAT. I had to take the SAT to get out of high school, right?
No, SAT is for college, brother.
Yeah, but I went to junior college.
Yeah, you don't have to take it for junior college. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Conrad just say D, all of the above. Just choose D, all of the above.
So yeah,
Johnny,
dude,
is she
today? And
is she online?
Yeah,
Is it Monday through Friday? What are the hours?
Monday through Friday. 9 a.m. to right around 11:30-ish, and then we immediately do her homework. We start her homework right away because
get it over with.
And she's just one of those kids, man. If she gets away from it, it's hard to pull her back in. So we're like, let's do it now. Let's get it out of the way. But man, dude, a lot of glitches, Ruben, trying to even send in the homework and they didn't receive it. It's just, she was thinking about doing a music class. So she checked in yesterday for music. You get the choice of the clarinet or the ukulele. And the music teacher's link, he was having problems. So there was no class. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just weird, dude. I feel for the kids because, they would normally be meeting each other and playing at recess and lunch. And it's,
Johnny, one thing that stood out to me, and I'm curious when we first talked, is B still dressing up for school? Or is she now like the other kids just doing it in her pajamas? And to me, when you told me that, one thing that it kind of breaks my heart for these kids, and maybe people who went to private school, they didn't deal with this, but getting dressed for the first day of school, man, was a big deal. And maybe it shouldn't be a big deal. Maybe this is the positive thing about this pandemic, and I know it was a positive thing about with private schools where everybody's wearing the same thing, so it's not a fashion show and you're not being judged by your clothes.
Yeah.
But I remember like going school shopping with my mom. I even do a joke about that on stage, going school shopping with my mom. And then just that first day of school, when you show up with your new outfit at school and, then ready to talk crap about people, who had a shitty outfit, as we used to do. Not saying it was right, but that's what we used to do. So what is B doing now since the first day? Is she still wearing new school clothes, or what's that like?
Dude, that's so funny. It's the timing is crazy that you brought this up. She started last Wednesday, so she did 3 days last week. She did 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. And this morning, for the first time, I was like, "All right, here." She goes, "Yeah, I want to wear that top." And I go, "Okay." And what bottoms? She goes, "My pajama bottoms." And I said, "Really? You want to do that?" She goes, "Everybody else is doing. I'm hearing. That's Mama said too. All the kids are just wearing their pajamas on the bottom." So today was the first day. It took 5 classes, and she did a nice top, brushed her hair, did her hair and everything good, but she was wearing pajamas on the bottom, dude. So, I mean, I agree with you. I remember seeing a really funny meme that I posted a long time ago, and it was a photo of the pencil sharpener in class,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it said, "This is how we showed off our clothes before social media or Snapchat or whatever," because everybody would get up to walk in front of the class.
Oh man. Hey,
Good
so
times.
yeah, it's just and how is she like it's just a weird time. Is she enjoying it or is it just like whatever for her?
No, you know what? She's actually enjoying it. She likes her teacher, America Moreno. Her name's America Moreno. I don't know if I
Hmm.
should say that on here, but anyway, Mrs. Moreno, um, very nice. And there's like 21 students in the class. Some of those kids make me laugh too. You know, they're just funny. You know, they're some of them, leaning and not sitting upright, and their hair's all messed up. It's really funny, man. But
Let me just
it's
say
good
this,
for her
Johnny.
too because yeah.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'll say what I have
Oh
to say.
no, it's been good for her because it's stimulated her brain. Like it's you can tell she's enjoying. Um, she's a lot like me though, man. Reading, writing, um, her spelling. She likes the spelling. She likes any of the social studies. It's the math that she doesn't like. So she struggles a little bit with math, and I was the same way.
Yeah, you know what, Johnny? Maybe look into because there's some books out there that makes math fun, and I think math can be intimidating sometimes for people. I was really good in math in elementary, junior high, and high school, and then kind of got lazy. But a lot of that depends on the teacher and how it's being taught. Somebody was telling me they're teaching math differently than
Yeah,
when we learned it. I
right.
know. Hey, Stan Felton said he teaches math. Wow.
Oh,
He just posted that he teaches
oh,
math. And I know when I was in China, I was somebody that I met there who was a teacher in China was telling me how they teach math in China. I can't really go into it right now, but when when they broke it down, I was like, oh wow, no wonder the stereotype is they're so good in math. It was just how they were taught. If you learn that way, it makes it really simple and
yeah,
really quick to comprehend it. But
right.
um, I was going to say this, Johnny.
Yeah.
My parents would have loved school during the pandemic because to not have to buy me school clothes would have
Oh,
been they.
hey,
My parents would have
I
got.
think
I would have been doing every class in pajamas, Johnny. Every class I would have been in pajamas. My parents would not have bought me school clothes if I wasn't going to school.
yeah, yeah.
Period. 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 I would not have gotten any school.
Yeah,
They would have saved money.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. That is so funny. Yeah, because I just hope at some point they do go back. So she, maybe who knows? Maybe maybe the new year. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
um, she, they're trying to do their best. They even have PE class. We don't know how that's going to work out. She's got her first PE class this week. I don't. I guess they do calisthenics or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
It's
But
real.
but I wanted to ask you something real quick,
Okay.
real quick before I forget. How do you feel about the possibility, or I guess the new Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Will Smith and Kevin Hart?
Oh man. Obviously, I wish them luck with everything that they do, but that's such an iconic, classic, funny movie. I can see.
I know.
I can see them doing it. I can see them doing it. I can see them in the roles.
Sure.
I don't know, Johnny. I just think certain things should you should leave certain things alone. But if anybody, yeah, but if anybody can pull it off, I mean, I'd watch it just to see. But I mean, those of us who are fans of that movie are going to be extremely critical of it. You know what I mean? Because it's such a, you know, that's like somebody doing Trading Places. Like if somebody came in and did an upgrade, like who's gonna play Eddie Murphy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who's gonna play?
Don't give them any ideas.
I know.
Don't give them ideas.
So have they? So it's officially been greenlit then?
I mean, it was announced and everybody was talking about it. So I would imagine it is. I mean, the question is it's got to be Kevin Hart has got to be playing John Candy's role, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will Smith will be the great guy.
Yeah. So if they just decided, never mind, we want to do Ruben and Johnny instead. Who's playing who if it's you and I?
I would do it just like we do the podcast. I think you'd play John Candy's role.
Yeah, but Steve Martin's role was the more anal, picky guy.
Very true. Well, here's the thing. That's a great question. First of all, I would love to play John Candy's role. You know, the irony of it is on this podcast, I'm the straight guy. But for that script and your personality, we would have to flip it.
I believe so.
Yeah, we'd have to flip it.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we would, yeah.
Annoyed with everything. You would play just a little more street.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we
yeah.
Maybe we should do a low budget version of that.
Hey, why don't we just shoot like a faux trailer for it?
Repeat that, Johnny. You broke up a little bit. Repeat what you just said.
Oh yeah. You're messing up too. Like a fake movie trailer.
Got you. That would be hilarious. Well, let's talk about it off air. We made it through this podcast, man. Right before. Oh, somebody said a Swede version. Hilarious. That's Mike V. What's up, Mike V? Anyway, man, it's good. It's good to catch up, Johnny. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Rest in peace, John Thompson. Rest in peace, Cliff Robinson, and anybody who's lost anybody out there. Jose Tapia, praying for you, brother. Wishing you health and speedy recovery. And that's the end of our show, man. And thank you guys for listening. Please tell a friend. We appreciate everybody who supports the podcast. Please tell people, please share it. And that's I think that's the end of our show. I will keep you posted on
Bean and cheese.
Yes, bean and cheese. You guys could chime in and let us know the good bean and cheese places. And then and we'll pick that up. And then maybe, Johnny, we'll have to do like a a taste test of other places that people suggest that we haven't been to, and then we can give our expert opinion because we are masters of the bean and cheese burritos.
That's right. That's right.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you.
Right.
That's the end of our show. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. This is the best of everything. We're Ruben Paul and Johnny Sanchez, and we out.
Ruby Mother and Tuesdays.
This show is all about diversity and bringing everyone together. You never know who you're going to see at Ruby Tuesdays.